Okay, so you want to make it big on YouTube, huh? Specifically, those high CPM niches.
We're diving deep into that today.
We've got the inside scoop from YouTubers who are actually living this stuff.
Yeah, these aren't just theories. We're talking about real creators and their strategies.
We'll break it down like what CPM even is.
Why some niches are like gold mines.
And the tactics these YouTubers are using that you can learn from.
Get ready, because YouTube's a whole different game now.
More than just hitting record these days, right?
It's like you need a treasure map.
Okay, I like that.
CPM, that's cost per mil, or in plain English, how much advertisers pay every 1,000 views.
Right. CPM.
That tells you which audiences are valuable.
It's like, who are the people ready to spend money?
Exactly. Those are the viewers advertisers are fighting to reach.
Makes sense. So we're talking about niches where people have a purpose?
Yeah, they've got specific goals, money to spend, or are super likely to buy stuff relating to the video.
And that's why the CPM thing is so important if you want to make money on YouTube.
It's the heart and soul of ad revenue.
Higher CPM equals more cash for the same number of views.
That's the key.
Okay, so like 2 videos, same views, but one could be making way more.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a great example.
Hit me with it.
This creator, Dave Nick, 2 of his videos both got 900,000 views.
Wow, that's a lot.
One made him almost $100,000 from ads.
Seriously?
The other, just over $37,000.
Wait, hold on. Same views, but that's a massive difference in earnings.
Huge, right? That's the power of CPM.
So how does someone like Dave Nick pull that off? Higher CPM on one video versus another?
It's all about who's watching.
The audience.
Advertisers are willing to pay big bucks for the right viewers.
The ones who are actually going to buy their stuff.
Exactly. They look at what the audience wants to achieve,
Their goals.
how much they can spend,
Makes sense.
and how relevant the ad is to what they're watching.
So, like, if I'm watching a video on starting a dropshipping business,
Perfect example.
that's where you set up an online store but have someone else ship the products, right?
Right. You got it.
Advertisers for those e-commerce platforms are going to be all over that.
They know those viewers are ready to invest in tools and resources to get their business going.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Pretty much a laser-focused audience.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connections here.
So those niches, like software,
Especially stuff for managing projects or email marketing.
online business strategies like dropshipping, Amazon FBA.
That's selling through Amazon, right? Using their warehouses.
Yep, exactly.
Then there's finance tips, AI, and tech news.
All attracting those high CPM viewers.
Because advertisers see them as spenders.
Precisely, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, there's more. Come on, spill it.
We found some surprising high CPM niches that you might not expect.
Like what?
Aviation, for example.
Really? Airplanes.
It sounds niche, but think about it.
Pilots, engineers, people with money who love planes.
Exactly. That's a valuable audience.
Not exactly your bargain shoppers.
We found one channel, only 75 videos,
Not a ton of content.
400,000 subscribers,
Hmm.
and they're even getting brand deals.
Wow. So even something that seems specific.
Can be super lucrative on YouTube.
What else did we dig up?
This one surprised me. Expensive lists.
What, like the top 10 most expensive hotels, that kind of thing?
Exactly. Luxury watches, supercars.
People watch that.
Oh, yeah. And advertisers love it.
I guess it makes sense.
People fascinated by luxury usually have the means to buy it.
So if you've got an eye for the finer things...
YouTube could be your path to the good life.
Interesting. So it's not all about just how-to or tech stuff.
Nope, variety is key.
What else did we find?
Space documentaries.
No way, that's a thing.
One channel's making about $18,000 a month just from ads.
That's crazy.
And they're using AI for a lot of it.
AI for like narrating and writing.
Yeah, voiceovers, scripts, even
Yeah.
thumbnails.
So even if you're not Spielberg, you can still make cool documentaries.
Technology is changing the game.
But you still need good content, right? Engaging stuff.
Of course, content is king.
That's why those success stories for entrepreneurs do so well.
People love those.
It's like hearing how someone went from nothing to $1 million business.
Exactly. And it can be seriously profitable.
I bet. Did our research find any examples?
This guy, Jordan Welch, interviews successful entrepreneurs.
So he's sharing their stories.
And he's pulling in over $45,000 a month just from ads on those videos.
Dang, that's inspiring.
People want those stories, they want to learn.
So if you can tell those stories well...
You can build an audience and make good money.
Okay, so high CPM niches. They're about finding an audience with money and a desire to learn.
That's a big part of it.
But how do you even choose the right niche for you?
That's where things get strategic.
I'm all ears.
We'll talk about niching up and niching down.
Sounds intriguing.
These are two approaches that can seriously impact how much your channel grows.
And how you snag those high CPM viewers we've been talking about.
Exactly.
All right, so niching up versus niching down, what's the deal?
That's where you get strategic with your niche.
Break it down for me.
Niching up, niching down. Two different ways to pick your lane, and they can really affect how big your channel can get.
Okay, so niching down,
Let's say you want to do fitness videos.
pretty broad topic.
Niching down means getting specific.
So instead of all things fitness,
You might do yoga for seniors.
or like strength training for marathon runners.
You got it. You're zeroing in on a smaller audience with a particular
That's
need,
their focus.
which has its advantages.
Like what?
It's easier to stand out when there's less competition.
Makes sense. You're not up against every fitness guru.
Right, just the ones in your little corner of the fitness world.
So if someone searches yoga for seniors, your videos pop up.
And if your content's good, you become the person for that.
The expert.
You build a loyal following, a real community.
Because you're solving a specific problem for them.
They're more likely to be engaged.
I like it. So niching down, good for building that dedicated audience.
But there are downsides to think about.
Oh, like what?
Potential for a growth ceiling.
Meaning.
Your audience size is limited by how many people are interested in that one thing.
Ah, so you might hit a wall.
You've reached everyone who wants that content, growth slows down.
Makes sense.
And it can be tough to branch out later.
Like you're known for that one thing.
If you suddenly switch gears, you might lose some of those loyal fans.
Okay, so niching down, pros and cons.
Now let's flip it, niching up.
That's where you go broad.
You got it, wider audience.
So instead of yoga for seniors,
It's yoga for everyone.
or even broader, like wellness in general,
Casting a wider net.
trying to reach more people,
That's the advantage. More potential viewers, more subscribers.
potentially more money,
But, you guessed it, more competition.
harder to stand out.
It might take longer to build that loyal following.
So it's a trade-off, laser focus versus a wider approach.
This expert, Nate Black, he talks about it like a slider.
A slider.
Like you're adjusting how niche you want to be.
So if I like being the big fish in a small pond,
And you thrive on building that strong
Sure.
community.
I might slide more towards niching down.
But if you're dreaming big,
Millions of viewers.
okay, you got to be ready for that competition, you'd slide towards niching up.
Interesting. So there's no right or wrong answer.
It's about finding what feels good for you.
And what fits your goals for your channel.
And hey, you can always adjust that slider as you learn.
That's good to know. So YouTube success is about finding the right fit.
Not just following some rigid formula,
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
and let your personality shine through.
We see that with all these successful YouTubers, it's more than views and money.
It's about creating something you're proud of.
Finding that sweet spot where your passion
The audience's needs.
and making money all come together.
And building a successful channel, it takes time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
We saw creators who spent years honing their craft.
Before they hit it big.
You got to have that passion, that persistence.
And put in the work even when you don't see results right away.
And you don't have to do it all alone.
True. There are communities, resources out there.
Connect with other creators. Learn from their experiences.
So we've talked about the creative side of YouTube.
The art of it all.
But what about the business side?
How to make the money.
Are there ways to connect your passions with those high CPM niches we were talking about earlier?
Absolutely. We got a great tip from a creator named Nick Nimmin.
Okay, what's the secret sauce?
He says, analyze the descriptions of successful videos in your niche.
So look at what other people are doing.
See what they're promoting, their sponsors, any affiliate links.
Like reverse engineering their success.
Exactly. Get ideas for how to monetize your own content.
So even with a great niche and all these monetization strategies.
There are still things to watch out for.
Oh, like what?
Remember those content ceilings we mentioned?
Yeah, and copyright. Those sounded a bit scary.
We'll dive into those next.
Let's do it. All right. Content ceilings and copyright. Those were the cliffhangers from last time.
Yeah, let's unpack those.
Content ceilings, they sound kind of ominous.
They're basically limitations you got to think about when picking your niche.
So like roadblocks to how big your channel can get.
Think of them like invisible barriers.
Okay, invisible barriers. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
We got two main ones, the idea ceiling and the view ceiling.
Idea ceiling first. What's that all about?
It comes down to how many video ideas can you actually come up with in your niche?
Before you like run out of stuff to talk about.
Exactly. Some niches have way more ideas baked in than others.
So something like sports. There's always new games, new drama,
Tons of content.
that have a higher idea ceiling than, say, a niche about one specific historical event.
You got it. You want a niche where you can be creative for a long time.
Otherwise, you're going to be scrambling for ideas.
Or even switching niches later, which can mess with your audience.
Yeah, no one likes a bait and switch.
So idea ceiling, that's one barrier.
What about view ceiling? What's
Right.
that limit?
That's about how many people on YouTube actually care about your niche.
Even if I have a million video ideas?
If only 100 people are interested,
That's my limit.
that's your ceiling. You might have a great community.
But it's not going to be a mega channel.
Probably not. It's a trade-off.
High view ceiling, more competition.
But more potential viewers, more money too.
So idea ceiling and view ceiling both matter.
Got to balance those when choosing your niche.
Is there any way to, figure out the view ceiling beforehand?
There are tools that can give you some insight.
Like what?
They look at audience size, search volume for keywords.
Fancy.
But honestly, even just browsing YouTube can help.
See how many channels are already doing that thing?
Exactly what kind of views they're getting.
Like good old-fashioned research.
Always a good idea.
Okay, so we got our ceilings. Now what about this copyright thing? That one sounded serious.
Yeah, super important, especially if you're using stuff you didn't create yourself.
Like music or videos.
We found a cautionary tale. This guy, Jerome Bosch, had a soccer channel, Offside.
I think I've heard of that one. Didn't something happen?
Channel's doing great. Hundreds, thousands of views, sometimes millions.
Wow, that's huge.
But he was using a ton of game footage.
Which he didn't own.
Nope, and that's a problem.
I bet.
He got hit with a bunch of copyright strikes.
Oh, no.
His channel got demonetized.
No.
No more ad revenue.
That's rough. All that work, building a channel, and then poof.
It's a harsh lesson. Got to be careful with copyright.
So how do we avoid that?
Best way? Create your own stuff.
Original content.
But if you have to use someone else's work,
Like a song or a clip.
make sure you know the rules. Get permission if you need to.
So royalty-free music, fair use, all that jazz.
Exactly. Educate yourself on copyright. It'll save you headaches later.
It's like protecting yourself.
But don't let all this scare you off from YouTube.
Right. It's about being smart, being informed,
You can totally create amazing content and build a successful channel.
and still be a good internet citizen.
Respecting copyright is part of the game.
I love that. So much to learn about YouTube. It's more than just making videos.
It's a whole world.
We've learned so much in this deep dive. What CPM even is, why it matters.
How to pick your niche, make your content stand out.
Even the legal stuff like copyright.
A lot to digest,
Yeah,
but hopefully you're feeling pumped to start creating.
I know. I am. We've seen so many paths to success.
And there's no one right way to do it.
It's about finding what works for you, your passions.
And your goals.
But YouTube's always changing.
Absolutely. Got to stay curious, keep learning.
Be ready to adapt.
And most importantly,
Have fun.
that's the key.
So as you're thinking about starting your YouTube journey, what's sticking with you? What's sparking your creativity? Hold on to that. Let it guide you as you create. We can't wait to see what you come up with.